The Heavy Civil Association of Newfoundland and Labrador is an organization that represents members' interests in meetings and discussions with government departments, agencies, municipal councils, engineering consultants, and the general public. They are your voice in the road construction, water and sewer, and heavy construction industries. With their partnerships, they connect people, goods, and services through reliable, innovative infrastructure to boost prosperity and well-being in Newfoundland and Labrador.
It's a great place to work, right? You're surrounded by dedicated people who love what they do, and we're serving the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. You gotta love it. We're bringing brands to the province that we're proud of, we'd use personally, so it really makes us really happy to be able to share that throughout the province. I think what's unique is our connection to the province, to the people we serve, and where we live. At the end of the day, all the equipment we sell is meant to keep the province moving.
Well, folks, welcome back to Gale Force Winds. We are the day after the show that we just were at has just come to an end. What show was that? That was the Heavy Civil Association of Newfoundland and Labrador AGM and conference. And the thought leadership was sponsored by Harvey and Company. And I'm sitting again with the man that made all of that happen, and he gets the final word. As a sponsor of the thought leadership sponsor, Kevin, we will give you the final word. The first thing that I want to do is just tell you my impressions of what I saw. The optimism, I said to you before we hit record, there's a lot of optimism. Business people are optimistic in general, but this optimism is different. It actually comes with a little bit of fear too about, where we're going to get all the employees and all that. But your industry, this industry is amazing. So tell us a little bit about, the feedback that you got and take us wherever you want to go.
Yeah, so I think I'd echo the same thing. I think the conference was fantastic. We did what we completely wanted to do, which was connect with a whole bunch of our customers outside of the regular hustle and bustle of the day. Got to have some great conversations about where their businesses are going and how we can help them. And again, for us, this was pretty much the kind of the launch of XCMG, and to hear a lot of our customers being excited about what that might bring and new opportunities for us was really fun.
Yeah, and look, it was fun for us, the fact that you guys sponsored us and made it happen, and you did that in a pretty short order. I mentioned to you as well, the Premier's speech in particular. It's one thing to have, a politician speak, then, it feels like an election kind of thing. I'm not saying that's what that was. This in particular was him talking about all of the opportunities, and he outlined all of them, and he basically said to the industry of which you're part to be ready. So yeah, the industry is poised for incredible growth, and I know I'm gonna keep repeating that, but there's so many projects on the go, and the leadership that showed up. We were lucky enough on the podcast to have Minister Houghton. We had the Premier, so that was a good thing. Yep. Tell us a little bit about your feeling about the industry, I guess. Yeah.
I'd echo the same, just really excited. At the end of the day, the kind of lunchtime sessions sometimes are kind of hit and miss, but I completely agree with you. The Premier session only reinforced what we thought going into this, that really exciting times ahead. I think everybody is pushing kind of the same way, so can't wait to see what we all do.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting industry, and the Gale Force hasn't been at a heavy civil show before. We've done a lot of work in the mining sector. This is not a natural thing for the industry. Many of the owners of the businesses not used to doing video interviews like this. But we have, I think, 30 videos up on our playlist. Tell us what what you think of the thought leadership piece, where you gave the ability for that industry, the important industry, to have a voice.
Well, what I'm most excited about, having watched the first bunch of videos that have come out, is that, we're really showing what I've known since I've been in the industry, is that there's incredible leaders through all these businesses. But you're right, sometimes that's not seen because they're out doing the work. And now all of a sudden you're seeing these folks, you're getting a little bit of a glimpse behind the thought process and the strategy that they take to do what they do. And I think that can only mean really good things for our industry, right? One of the challenges in our industry today is recruiting talent.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not necessarily known what great opportunities are out there. And so I think when more folks see on YouTube, and whether it's, you know, small clips that end up on TikTok or wherever it is, start seeing from the leaders in our industry, I think it's going to pique a lot of interest. And I think that's really exciting. And so for us to be a kind of a small part of that with the Gale Force Wins, we love being it.
Well, I appreciate that. And I said to you before, you know, I have a young 17-year-old. He's really struggling to figure out where to go. What I'm telling him is that there's a lot of opportunity. I tried to get him to come here today. This is a lunchtime recording, but he was too busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the youth of this province need to understand, don't they, that this is a huge opportunity for them.
Absolutely. Well, I can speak for personal sort of experience. My son is just 18. He's finishing his course now as an equipment operator. And since he was, and he'll be embarrassed with me saying this, but since he was like 3 years old, he's known this is the path he wanted to go on. And, you know, I will say all through school, and this is not a slight to anybody, there wasn't a lot of support for that sort of industry, you know. So as parents, we've kind of helped find kind of his way into there. But now what you're seeing is there's more and more of a spotlight on the industry. And so these young people are seeing the opportunities. So the more we can shine the light on it, I think we're going to see more of our young leaders in there. And I think that only means good things for the province.
I agree with you. And, you know, there's nothing better than a tactile career, a career where you actually build something. I used to joke, you know, my career has been, I sold radio advertising and print advertising. Now it's a digital advertising.
Yep.
It's hard to measure, you know, that. Yeah. But when you do something like this and you sell that, and that, if that was a, you know, a plow or whatever, it builds a road. It actually makes something. That's why I think the youth really should consider this, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the most exciting thing. And for us, it's one of the really exciting things. It's not about selling the machine. And yeah, that's great. Yeah. But really, when you see what folks do with it, right? It's not about the excavator, it's what they do. It's the houses they build, the roads that they do, the infrastructure they help create. That's really inspiring when you're driving down the road and you see that at work. And I think for kind of, not the youth, but anybody today working in that industry, there's a special sort of satisfaction when you see what you've created physically help people. Yeah. And I think that's just fantastic.
Well, you know, as a final note, I'll just say this. We spoke to a lot of people. I think there's 30 videos up on the playlist. Gale Force Wins. Anyone who watches this probably know where they are. There's still a whole host of people, Kevin, as I said to you, that we didn't get yet. Some of the most incredible entrepreneurial leaders that are used to actually sitting on the machines. Then they evolved into creating a business and running the business. So I look forward to doing more because this industry is building Newfoundland and Labrador. It's amazing what you're doing. So final word, you know, sum it all up in a few words, putting you on the spot. Final words, this was a great first step. We were really excited to be part of Gale Force Wins. I think this is our first, it certainly won't be our last time working together. And what I think we're going to see is that as more of those leaders who maybe didn't share their stories this time, I think we're going to start hearing them, and I'm excited to hear those. I get a little emotional because when Alan and I created this company, it was on Zoom. Pardon my expression, shooting the shit on Zoom that morphed into this. But I can tell you, and I'm speaking for you, Kevin, we believe in business. And Newfoundland is on the cusp of one of its greatest economic, I call it a resurgence, but it's an economic boost that it's ever had. And it's leadership like yours that allows thought leadership, which is important. Thoughts go into action. And that's what we're trying to do. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for blowing some more wind in the sails. Gale Force Wins. Great to be a part of it. It's a great place to work, right? You're surrounded by dedicated people who love what they do, and we're serving the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. You gotta love it. We're bringing brands to the province that we're proud of, we'd use personally, so it really makes us really happy to be able to share that throughout the province. I think what's unique is our connection to the province, to the people we serve, and where we live. At the end of the day, all the equipment we sell is meant to keep the province moving. The Heavy Civil Association of Newfoundland and Labrador is an organization that represents members' interests in meetings and discussions with government departments, agencies, municipal councils, engineering consultants, and the general public. They are your voice in the road construction, water and sewer, and heavy construction industries. With their partnerships, they connect people, goods, and services through reliable, innovative infrastructure to boost prosperity and well-being in Newfoundland and Labrador.